Greetings, vinyl community. I hope everyone is doing well. It's been a while in relative terms to my videos, but I have been on vacation for 2 weeks, and it's my last day of vacation today. I got to go back to work tonight. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and this has nothing to do with anything, but I film my videos in advance. I don't film it on the day and then post it that day. I just don't really have that much time, but so sometimes when I post a video, I'll have filmed it like a week or two ago, etc., etc. So I'm probably well back at work now, feeling really awesome. So I just got off 2-week vacation. This time last year, if you go back a year ago from this video, I was in London. In fact, today was the 1 year, it's not really an anniversary, but a year ago today, I was in Hyde Park seeing The Cure. Which was amazing, and I was in London during for 2 weeks during their fucking massive heat wave, and the World Cup was going on, and people were tipping over ambulances and fun stuff like that. So yeah, we didn't go to Europe this year during summer. We're going to go in the fall. So yeah, we stayed home for 2 weeks of rain and doing tedious house stuff that you put off, and that's what we did for 2 weeks. But anyways, I went to see a punk festival. This has nothing to do with my records, and this is a little slice of life. There's a fast forward button there if you want. But I went to see a punk festival, the NoFX Punk in Drublic Craft Beer Festival, hence the shirt. It was a festival that NoFX obviously was putting on, and there was tons of craft beer to be had, and it was supposed to happen outside, and then for fear of rain, they moved it inside to this horrible hall that had no right to have shows in it. It was terrible. But what they did, just to let you know how this show went, I left a bit early, and you'll see why. Doors were at 1, so between 1 and 4, they had 30 craft beer vendors. Between 1 and 4, free beer. And if you were there, then you know. There was sample size, but you could have as much as you want. So hang on, we're going to do a cheers now. Cheers, everyone. But you could have as much as you want. So band started, you know, in and around 4 when the free beer ended, and you can imagine. And plus, if you don't know, you probably know this, cannabis or weed or Mary Jane, it's illegal in Canada. You can smoke it wherever you can smoke a cigarette. So you combine that much beer, free beer, with about 4,000 or 5,000 people and that much weed, and you can get a glimpse of how the night went. So anyways, my ears still hurt because it was just a hall that shouldn't have had shows, and it was just one constant drone as everything bounced off these tin walls. It was just fucking dreadful. It wasn't the band's fault. It was the venue and the venue staff that made it just horrible. But good on NoFX. It was a really good idea for a festival, and if it had been outside, it would have been light years different. But yeah, to the venue and to the venue staff. Fuck you. Anyways, one more cheers. So that's been what's been up with me. Follow me. I always say this at the end of the videos. A lot of people don't stay to the end. Follow me on Instagram at NAZZ or NAZZ _ NOMAD, Nazz _ Nomad. You'll see what I'm up to. You'll see what records I'm listening to. Just dumb photos, and I don't know. That's where I'm mostly on social media. Anyways, one last thing about the punk festival is, at my age, festivals are not really a good idea anymore. Whew, man, am I feeling it. It's just, it gets worse as you get older, all-day festivals, but maybe some of you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah, there you go. That's what I've been up to. I'm staring at about 100 records since I saw you last. Some of it is that leftover stuff from last video, that experimental, some of it's jazz, ambience kind of stuff, which we'll get to today, but staring about 100 new records that I haven't shown you since, since I've accumulated since my last video. Which leads me to one really quick question. I know we're going on to 4 minutes and 30 seconds, but you guys know me. I don't like to do these kind of videos, and I'll be quick because, and I'm not dissing anyone. I'm going to try to be hip with my phrases. I'm not dissing or throwing shade, as the kids say. And anyone who do these kind of videos, more power to you. I just don't like to do question and answer videos. I get asked to do them. They're a little bit pretentious, and it's just, who am I to answer your questions? But I get asked a lot of the same questions in the comments down below. and people have asked in the past. If it's something you want to see, I'll answer any question. Like, with your lack of intelligence, how did you get this far in life? I'll answer that question. How did you manage to get any girlfriends in life? I'll answer that too. But I got to ask all the same questions. How do you have time to listen to all this vinyl? What do you do with them? I got to ask a lot of the same questions. But if you want to see a video where I answer your questions, I'll answer anything, within reason, of course. But let me know right down below if it's something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm the same as you. Anyways, that's a total aside. Let's get right to this. Like I said, I got some leftover stuff from last video. I got some new vinyl to show you. My friend Tim came over with massive boxes of Jukebox 7-inch singles that I could pick through at my leisure, I guess, for free. Picked out some of those, and then some other bits and bobs. I came across a rather large. It's not disco so much. It's kind of like funk and dance from the 70s, but some of it's worth a bit of. So I'll show that to you as well. So one more time, it's 5 minutes. 6. Oh my shit. Oh my shit is not a real phrase people say, but oh my god, it's 6 minutes in. And I don't care. Alright, let's get right to this. Let's start with this. One CD to show you. It's a sealed copy of Kansas Miracles Out of Nowhere. It's primarily, it's a DVD, I guess, with the history of Kansas. And then there's a CD, and in between some of their best known songs, there's audio excerpts from the DVD. I have not seen it yet. It's sealed. I'm not the biggest Kansas fan, but it was sealed for a couple of bucks at a thrift store. So Kansas Miracles, I'll give that a view when I'm really bored. All right. Some people like me to show 7-inch singles, and they make comments, that I say I find them and I don't show them. I'm going to show them really quickly. This is a brand new one, actually. This is the newest in the series of David Bowie picture disc vinyl that I always show you. The latest one is DJ, which I'm really happy to get. Really love that song. So that's the newest in the David Bowie picture disc series, backed with Boys Keep Swinging. There you go. Curious George rides a bike. Why not? I got a copy of Led Zeppelin, Immigrant Song. I'm not sure if you've even seen these, but there's going to be some stuff for the Canadians here. Mitsu, Bye Bye Mon Cowboy. I had a picture of her in my locker in high school. You didn't need to know that. Kind of one of those reissues of a double A-sided single. A lot of these are for DJing. A lot of these aren't. But Sunshine of Your Love by Cream, backed with Badge. On the Polydor Pop Classic series. Titanic, Sultana. Oh, as I dropped it. Really happy to find this one. This one is a German or French pressing. I can't tell. If you don't know the song, look it up. Really good hybrid of Latino, funk, and other stuff thrown in, but nice find on that one. Another one for the Canadians. Sass Jordan, Double Trouble. And I don't know, it's just like I said, a lot of it's filler for DJing, like AC/DC, Shook Me All Night Long, and Def Leppard, Armageddon It, Alice Cooper, Poison, ELO, Don't Bring Me Down, just stuff I might need for DJing, you never know. Queen, Play the Game with the DJ strip in it, or the jukebox strip, sorry. Just little things like that. Another copy, a picture sleeve of the Knack My Sharona, and why wouldn't you want another copy of that? Yeah, stuff like that. So I showed some of them. That'll have to suffice today with the 7-inch singles. There's so many. I mean, like, there's stacks like this that I could make 2 videos worth of the 7-inch singles that I found. All right, new vinyl. This is to replace a damaged copy that I own, and I didn't know it had developed a lip warp until I brought it DJing, and I put it on, and then the song TVC 15 started skipping, which was embarrassing. But I got a new copy of David Bowie, Station to Station. This is the new version that's out, the 180 gram. It sounds better than my original RCA version, so yeah, I always need TVC 15 for DJing, and sometimes golden years, but really happy to get that. More new vinyl. Sleep. The Sciences. I'm a little bit behind on the band Sleep. I'm just kind of catching on to them now. A lot of you guys have been on to them for a long time. Really loving the Sleep lately. I picked one of their albums up at a thrift store on CD. And then, of course, now I had to have some of their stuff on vinyl. But The Sciences is their latest album from last year on Third Man Records. Amazing. If you're into stoner metal, Black Sabbath, this is the next best thing. Sleep. The Sciences. Filling in some holes in my rap collection again. Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold You Back. Or hold us back. Sorry. I think last video or the video before that I made the proclamation that their album, Fear of a Black Planet, is the greatest rap album of all time. And the people chimed in with this one, no, this one is. Or the best Public Enemy. And I have it on CD, but I thought, you know what, I'll get it on vinyl. Sit down, relax. And yeah. It's good. Houdini, Escape. This has the song, Freaks Come Out at Night and Friends were the big songs off this one. NWA, straight out of Compton. Never had it on vinyl. Now I do. The Roots, Il Adelph Half-Life. Got that, a copy of that on vinyl. This is such a great album. I mean, The Roots... I don't know if people think less of them because they're on, what is it, the Jimmy Fallon show? They're kind of slash, like a hybrid group slash comedy thing now on that show. But their music's just amazing. So I got a copy of that on vinyl. Copy of Outkast, Atlians. My wife's a big Outkast fan, so she was happy when I got that one. And I think that might be all the new vinyl. Now we're going to go on to some, this is all going to be a hybrid of thrift store finds and finds at local record stores. I hesitate to call this grails. I don't want to throw that word around too much, but these are for me. I'll call them that. I've never seen this in my life. I've been looking for it for 20 years. Boom, I see it the other day. An original Epitaph Records pressing of SNFU. The one voted least likely to, one voted most likely to succeed, sorry. One of the hardest ones of theirs to find on vinyl. My all-time favorite punk group, SNFU, and 20 years in the making, I finally found it. Go ahead and call that a grail. And then, here's the thing, 2 days later at a different store, I found the only other SNFU album I'm missing on vinyl, which is not quite as rare as that one I just showed you, but SNFU, Last of the Big Time Suspenders. Most of it was recorded at their first farewell show that I was at. It says right here, actually. When was it? It was September 1989. I was at that show, at their first farewell show. And then they got back together and signed to Epitaph Records, releasing 3 records after that. An original UK pressing of 7 Seconds, Walk Together, Rock Together. Oh, just so happy to get this one. Like I said, it's an original... UK pressing. I always wanted that one on vinyl. The Accused, the return of Martha Splatterhead. Some, I hate to use the word crust punk, but that's what people call them in my parts from the Northwest. The Accused, the return of Martha Splatter. They used to come around my city all the time. So I've seen The Accused, I don't know how many times when I was a teen. The Accused. In retrospect, once I listen to it again, it doesn't hold water as much as it did when I was young, but it was still good to revisit that album. All right, we're going to get to this experimental kind of weird stuff that I found in that one big haul that I had the last video that I just didn't have time for. Some of you will know more about this than I will because I still haven't done a lot of research on this stuff. The Jad Fair Monarchs. On Iridescence Records. And I can't offer comment because I've not listened to a lot of this stuff yet because I've been on vacation. There's Jad Fair Monarchs. Please feel free in the comment section to let me know if you know that one. I do know this one. Philip Glass, Soho News. Who was on this one? I guess it doesn't really matter. It's Philip Glass, Soho News. Like I said, these are all thrift store finds. This is an original pressing from 1965. The Byron Allen Trio, and I was amazed how much on Discogs this is worth. Kind of free jazz. I did listen to this one. It's really good. I hate to use the word free jazz, but that's what it is. Yeah, the Byron Allen Trio. This is a weird find some of these were. Hamza Eldin Eclipse. Once again, this is part of that haul, and I quickly discarded it and saw what it's worth, and it's like, yeah, you're coming home with me, because if I don't like you, someone else will, and compensate me for it. I know this gentleman, Ahmad Jamal Intervals, an original pressing on 20th Century Fox Records. What is this one? Oh, K. Lemur. Some of you might know more about this one than I do. Imposed Order, K. Lemur. Know nothing about it other than it's kind of a sought-after experimental record. But you know, K. Lemur, if you can freeze frame that one. Imposed Order, original pressing. I showed this one last video, but I'll show it again. Alvin Lucier, I Am Sitting in a Room. Very sparse sounding record. Very, once again, highly sought after. Picked it up in part of that haul. I'm sure this one will find it at home at some point. The Horrors. This is Primary Colors. I'm a big Horrors fan. I seen them this time last year. I saw a lot of Depeche Mode shows around Europe. And was it last year or the year before? I want to say last year, but maybe not. Can't remember now. But I've seen the Horrors a lot, opening for Depeche Mode, opening festivals. They've really got a lot better live than they were before. But this is one of their earlier albums called Primary Colors. Really happy to have that one. Another band me and my wife share a love for. Philips Red Label Pressing, 1974 of Kraftwerk's Autobahn. It's the finds have been amazing. What can I say? Kraftwerk Autobahn. Sonic. Okay, this one I have not figured out if it's a bootleg or not a bootleg. I'm gonna guess it's a bootleg. It's a blue vinyl. It's Sonic Youth. It's their Australian Tour Edition, 1993, sorry. It's got Sugarcane on it, a cover of Personality Crisis. It's got, what, 5 songs in total, and I know nothing about it, but I want to say it's a boot. It could have, it might have been an old record store day title, I'm not sure, but it was there. Picked it up. Sonic Youth on blue vinyl on Geffen Records. I'm going to show you this, and you're going to think it's the full-length album, but guess again, Roger Waters' Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking in the Shrink, but it's not the full-length album. It's the 12-inch single for the Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking, which I've never seen before. They go 12-inch single. You can see that. It's got the Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking on side 1, the extended version, and then it's got two album tracks from the Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. So 12-inch single, never seen it before, of the Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. This one's really cool. What can I say? Like I said, the finds have been amazing. An original A&M Records pressing of The Cure, Pornography. This might be my screenshot. With my big fat face in the frame. But in Canada, these albums were released on A&M Records, if you can see that there. I'm holding it by the rim, don't have a cow. But an original pressing, clean as a whistle, just lovely. The only pressing I had was a newer pressing that came out a few years back. This will replace that one. I always wanted an original A&M Records pressing of my favorite Cure album, Pornography. Some jazz quickly. Blue Note. This is a 1970 or 72 repress of Blue Mitchell, The Things to Do. Don't know much to say about that. I do have a few other Blue Mitchell albums though. Don't need to see that. I'm gonna have to weed myself, weed some stuff out. Meat Bee Manifesto, Psych Out. They're probably their biggest club song. It was a club floor favorite when I was young, anyways. On Mute Records, it's on mute, so I buy it. I buy everything on mute that I possibly can, being one of my favorite record labels. But Meat Beat Manifesto, Psych Out. This one, woo, what an amazing find. Original Wax Trax pressing of Palehead, No Bunny, I Will Refuse. It's a split EP, or double A side, I guess. Palehead, I've talked about them before. was Ian MacKaye from Fugazi and Minor Threat on vocals, and then Al Jorgensen and Paul Barker of Ministry on guitar and bass. I can't remember who the drummer was, but that's who Palehead was Ian MacKaye / Ministry. On Wax Trax Records, just an amazing find, original pressing. So thrilled to get that one. Nothing fancy here, just a nice gatefold original pressing, Canadian pressing of, it's Canadian, I thought it was US, of Aqualung. Nothing fancy, just, nice copy. The Chase jazz funk album from, it must be mid-70s. It's actually better than you would think it is. I see this all the time, never think twice about it. At the thrift store, picked it up, why not? It's actually pretty good. So if you ever see this around, some jazz funk, not a bad album. Another copy of what is always, it's on every list you'll see of the best prog albums of all time. Prog, not as in Prague, the city, as P-R-O-G, Prog, progressive rock, is the Straub's Hero and Heroine. It's an upgrade copy for me. Gonna skip this one. I could talk about this album for a little bit because there's a really good backstory to this band, and I'm getting a little bit long in the tooth here for the video being long. But an original copy in the shrink of Klaatu's first album, which was called Klaatu in some areas, and I think it was called, I'm going to get this wrong, I think it was 3:47 a.m. or something like that in other territories in the world. But original price tag, $8.98 it cost, which I think was a little bit overpriced. But it was a really good album, and I could tell you a really good backstory about Klaatu, or you can read about it yourself on the internet. Surprisingly good albums by Klaatu. If you see early Klaatu albums, they are actually worth picking up if you see them cheap. All right, I'm gonna motor through these ones here. Am I? You know what? Of this big disco funk, something's not all disco, funk and soul stuff, I'm just going to show you a few of them because I don't want to go too long today. Oh yeah, I got to show you this. As well as in the same haul as that disco stuff and funk and soul stuff, I got a mint condition Super Nintendo, Super NES or SNES at a thrift store for like $9.99. Mint. Me and my son are going to have fun. It's not just records I pick up. Fun stuff for me and my son. I found 3 albums by Giorgio Moroder. One is E = MC squared, which is okay. It's not bad. And then the Munich Machine. This is, people are used to seeing the one with the robots in the front. This is, I think, their second one, I think. A Whiter Shade of Pale, which is essentially Giorgio Moroder. And then I think this is the third one under the name, the Munich Machine, is Body Shine. I think ostensibly Giorgio Moroder produces it. He puts it together, gets session musicians and session vocalists, and they made these albums under the name the Munich Machine, as in Munich, Germany. But it's essentially Giorgio Moroder behind the scenes, pulling the strings like he always does. And am I going to show you any more? There's some really valuable stuff in here. I'll show you this one just because of its value. And I just picked it up because it was part of this haul. If I can get to it here. Don't mind me. This one, The Mighty Pope, in the shrink. Nice album. Nice condition album. Look at it. What was it? The guy paid $6.98 at a. If you're from my city, you'll know this. At Kelly's Records. I used to go there when I was a kid. Since long gone. In the shrink, The Mighty Pope. I thought I would just Discogs while I was at the thrift store getting this funk, soul, disco stuff all paid for. And it's, what, about $65, $67 Canadian for this album? Median price? So yes, I will probably use this as a trader or pass it along, sell it, etc., etc. And this one, I'll end on this one. Just a really good, I want to say German copy, made in Holland. But it's a collection of bands that were on the Philadelphia International Records label, like the OJs, TCOP, The True Sounds of Philadelphia, I think that means. No, that's the song. Sorry, you gotta excuse me here. But you know what? Who else is on this? Yeah, TCOP. Sorry, yeah, the Sound of Philadelphia was done by MFSB. But the OJs, Billy Paul, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Just a really good, the Tramps are on here. Like I said, it's a really good compilation of the stuff from that label. A European pressing. I was really happy to get that one at the thrift store. So that was we're going to end on that one. So yeah, 25 minutes. We're about an hour less than my last video. Anyways, cheers everyone. Anyways, let me know what you think. If you want me to be pretentious and answer your questions in a video, it's something different that I could do. I can make a video where I totally make fun of myself for an hour. I could do that too. I could do anything. You let me know. I know I like to break up the thrift store find videos. It gets to be a little bit monotonous at times. I do understand that. But you know what? We'll see where this goes. Anyways, I'm going to sign off now before I blabber on too much. Follow me on Instagram, NAZZ_Nomad, Nazz_Nomad. Let me know what you think in the comments section. I'm back to work so I can answer all your comments. Because I'll have time to waste at work. This has been David Michael, aka Nazz Nomad. I hope you're all doing well. We'll see you next time. Cheers, everyone.